Was it China? Was it Iran? Was it those pesky Ruskies? Or even worse, interdimensional beings? Nope. Who was responsible for the larger drone swarms? The U.S. government. As, of course, we just got answers by the Donald Trump administration that had a very interesting disclosure that some people are questioning and saying, wait, hold on. Maybe that's true. What if there's a bigger picture unfolding here that I specifically want to talk about here, as, of course, my conspiracy mind is tingling, and there's a lot of particularly different outcomes that we could come to. But for now, the official Trump explanation here is that it was the Biden administration that allowed the FAA to fly drones, terrorize the local public, freak them out, and create a national news sensation with many people saying a lot of crazy stuff within the government in what I believed to be a larger psyop here. There's also talk about aliens. Well, we'll get into it, but here's the official statement right now from Caroline Leavitt that just announced this a couple minutes ago.
And before I turn to questions, I do have news directly from the President of the United States that was just shared with me in the Oval Office. From President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy.
Research and other reasons. What are those other reasons, Caroline? And what are you researching? What are we looking into here? What are we investigating here? As I had my own particular take on this, specifically at AmpFest. I was on stage there with Charlie Kirk, and they were like, hey, what's happening with these drones? I don't know what's going on here. No one had an answer, and I was like, hey, I truly believe that this is the intel agencies that have been given the right to assassinate and take out American citizens through these larger drones, through these larger deposition matrices. They're the ones that have been kind of advancing, pushing, and utilizing this tech to the fullest. And I bet it would probably be a way to send a message to Donald Trump saying, hey, we're the intel agencies. We're in charge here. We're the bureaucracy here. We could freak people out. We could terrify them. We could confuse them. We could scare them. And we don't have to give them an answer. Just because, as I do truly believe that was a larger PSYOP project. And it definitely does look like that was the larger actual situation that was unfolding here. That was absolutely eye-opening, to say the least, here, because the implications here are very vast. They're very big here, specifically when it comes to what exactly was the Biden administration doing here, as Donald Trump previously came out just 8 days ago and said, what's going on here with these drones? I'm going to find out. I'm going to tell you. 8 days later, we have this particular answer, as some people are saying, you know what? Donald Trump has been very forefront. He has been keeping his promises, his record. Some of the things he has done, not perfect, but otherwise, he's batting 100. He's doing incredible work, especially when it comes to protecting American citizens, being honest, being transparent, being able to actually give a press conference, being actually able to talk to reporters and answer their questions in real time, instead of being literally giving huge notes with huge wording and font on them that tell you exactly where to walk, sit, stand, and what to say. You know, the way that the Biden administration really this was really sinister, and it was really counterintuitive to this entire news industry, which we're going to get into in a little bit, because they had scripted questions. They knew who to pick on. They knew what they were going to ask, and they automatically had an answer that all Joe Biden had to do is literally read off of his little cheat sheets, place cards, and teleprompters. Donald Trump, off the cuff, ask him whatever you want. Let's go. He answers it in real time, and he actually is able to provide the American people real answers here. Now, I still have my own questions. What's the research, and what are those other purposes that these drones were for? As I come to my own conclusion here, and I think the most logical conclusion is that this, again, was the intel agency saying, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to front. I'm going to flex. I'm going to show you guys, yeah, I'm in charge here. I have the power. I could freak out an entire nation. What are you going to do about it? And if you see it from that kind of larger perspective, it does add up. It does make sense with some of the more kind of dangerous, erratic behavior that we specifically saw from the Biden administration as soon as Donald Trump got elected. As soon as Donald Trump got elected, the intel agency started working overtime. Biden started working overtime. They overthrew Syria. They were working on a lot of other things at play here, and I think this kind of drone story was meant to scare us, was meant to confuse us, and was meant predominantly to send a message to Donald Trump saying, yep, you won the election, but guess what? We're still in charge here. But Donald Trump now releasing this is a major step. It's a big step, as there are still going to be corners of the internet that are going to say, there probably was something bigger here. There probably was something else afoot here, as of course we have individuals like Tucker Carlson literally talking about these being interdimensional beings. And there still is a lot of correlation, especially with William Cooper and his larger disclosures as a part of U.S. naval intelligence coming out and saying, yeah, these craft are able to violate the laws of physics. Is that U.S. government tech now that we have here? As of course, there also were a lot of false positives, but the reports that did come in, specifically the reports that originated in the United Kingdom in the middle of November of these drone swarms coming in and going over American bases in the United Kingdom and flying off. Was that the Biden administration as well? These reports of these drones that are car-sized flying in and out of the water like there was no resistance at all. Was that also our tech? Is that the tech that we have? Because if that's true, that's the tech that William Cooper was talking about all the way back in the 1990s. So we had this for over 30 plus years. Why front it now? Why kind of show it off now? As I think we have to try to understand and put ourselves in the minds of a lot of these kind of sociopathic, crazy individuals within government and ask ourselves, what were they really doing here? As I still have my kind of questions. I think the original explanation that I gave is the more kind of a logical one. It's the more plausible one. But let's play into some of these larger theories and let's kind of speculate here a little bit. Before we do, we wanted to remind people to sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. We got a lot of really great, awesome offers of value. We're going to be uploading another members-only video in just a few hours from now, just for members. I'm going to be shooting a lot more members content. You guys get to call into the live show. We're still in flux. We're still trying to figure out what's going on with our kind of larger future, since financially I was majorly attacked by the IRS. That hasn't been fun. You guys supporting us really does mean a lot, and I think I'm going to go back to my old roots where I do investigative journalism, on the ground reporting, and really kind of putting myself out there in more precarious, crazy situations, which means we need your support more than ever to carry out those larger operations and do more stuff that is, of course, not just me sitting in this freaking screen. I want to go out there. I want to talk to people. I want to experience stuff. I want to live stuff. I want to live my life. Because, of course, that's what started my career. And, a lot of people kind of get stuck in this way where we gotta sit and just, hey, this is what happened in the news. Boom, here it is. And there's value to that. And it's important to do that. But I want to do both. I want to be there when news happens. I want to experience it. I want to film it. And I want to document it for you guys. I want to do more wild, fun experiences, plus just actual news reporting. And that's why we need your support, because then we need more lawyers, then we need more travel fees, then we need, probably hospital bills, again, bail funds. I've been doing this for a while. I've been arrested like 7 times doing this. 20 years I've been doing this. You appreciate the work. We give you a lot of offers of value. LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? Sign up right now. It's quick. It's easy. It's simple. 3 master classes. You get the seed oil cards, the crap list of items to avoid at the supermarket, and you become a part of a community where we go out there and we do some really cool, awesome stuff like nature hikes, which I'm going to be doing a lot of in the future here just for members exclusively of LukeUnfiltered.com. We're doing a range day. We're going to have to postpone that date, but we're going to be doing a range day soon as well. So all the information is just available for the members. As let's speculate now about what could be really going on here. But because let's just say hypothetically, and again, I'm not saying this is the case here, but it's fun playing around with these kind of larger notions and ideas. Let's just say I'm president of the United States, and there are interdimensional creatures and beings that are, working with government, influencing government, like Tucker Carlson has previously described. I don't believe Tucker Carlson's crazy. I believe Tucker Carlson is absolutely right with a lot of his kind of assertions, with a lot of his kind of beliefs. And I think what he's saying is something that I have kind of correlated personally myself. And let's just say that there are interdimensional beings, all right? If you're Donald Trump and you have the intel agencies come to you, they're like, yeah, hey, it's not our drones. They're actually interdimensional creatures, Mr. President. You're Donald Trump. You're like, shut up. You're lying. No way. You're just messing with my head. That's one possibility. Second possibility is, oh, crap. Yep. That news would upend the stock market. That news would freak people out, would scare a lot of people, and would lead to kind of national panic. And I think that's the second plausible kind of explanation, to be frank, to be honest, to be transparent with you guys. And he's like, I'm just going to blame it all on Biden. And again, Biden was a very deceivious leader. He was a very bad leader. He was a leader that wasn't doing good for the American people. He was waging a war based on political ideology. He was letting horrible people into this country, calling them in, saying, come on in, guys, get in on here. And leading to tremendous, devastating damages to not just our Constitution, but our way of life, tremendously. So what was kind of Biden up to here? What if Biden knew? And now the only kind of plausible explanation they could give without upending everything, without freaking everyone out, is to just say, yeah, this was just good old Yeller, good old Joe Biden, that, of course, was responsible for all of this, as we have to examine a lot of these larger possibilities because we're living in a very kind of crazy, bewildering, wild world. And I think that's the second most plausible kind of explanation here. The third explanation is that these were foreign governments, China, Russia, Iran, that were doing this. Do they have those capabilities? Well, a lot of people kind of reacted negatively in the stock market because China allegedly has an AI that's 50 times more powerful and about 50 times more cheaper than the American byproduct here that is woke and is absolutely a detriment to American society. Are they also surpassing us, not just with AI, but surpassing us with drones? Well, that's also worth speculating. But what's really going on here? Again, I don't see that as the likelihood as them kind of sparring and them kind of doing this. You know, there is circumstantial evidence, especially with the Chinese spy balloon, which the Biden administration was just watching. The intel agencies knew when it kind of popped up from China, they knew where it was going, they knew what it was going to do, and they allowed it to spy on us. The Biden administration was very helpful to the Chinese. Donald Trump doesn't look like he's that helpful to the Chinese. And if he finds out, holy cow, China is doing this, no, absolutely, shoot them down immediately. And I think that would be his initial kind of reaction here. But there's also the possibility of him being like, okay, we got to, figure out something with China because we're dependent on China. Trump's trying to build up the manufacturing base here inside of the United States. He might actually do that by setting up tariffs and getting rid of the IRS, which would be huge, which would be amazing, which would be a huge dream. SaveLukeNow.com. I would love that. That would be incredible. That would be awesome. Please. Oh, Jesus, Lord, please. Sorry, I got sidetracked here. Where was I? Anyway, if Donald Trump follows through, right, and starts this and blames China, China's responsible for a lot of our pharmaceuticals, for a lot of our antibiotics, for a lot of the things that the American people are dependent on. If we get in a huge trade war or an actual war with China, China's screwed because they're dependent on us. We're screwed because we're dependent on China. And slowly and surely, both countries that are, creating this Hegelian dialectic, this kind of largitudinous trap here, they're trying to move away from each other. How will that kind of unfold here? Was it China? And then Trump's just trying to play the good guy, trying to all right, is that what's going on here? What do you think? As of course, I gave 3 plausible explanations here, as there is a potential Trump could be lying and his administration could be lying to hide up the bigger kind of discoveries here, but I don't think that is going on here. I think my initial reaction to all of this, with Biden flexing and the intel agencies flexing, being like, look who's in charge, look what we could do on Donald Trump before he took office, was that. And them kind of going to him saying, look, we could do this, you better follow through with what we want you to do, or else, well, we look at the capabilities that we have. Look at the abilities that we have. So I think that's the more logical explanation. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.